Tell, Cockerel. He's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerel. Leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The predictions league, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel. He's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel. Jose gets himself around. Always talking Spurs, wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell, Cockerel. He's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel. The predictions league, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. Tell, Cockerel. The show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerel. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel. The show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerel.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world. For me, it's just turned into afternoon. For Chang, it's early evening, 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's still early evening. Welcome all to, I don't care what episode number it is. It's Chang, Jose and Chang Talk Tottenham, and it's all about the Etihad joy. So, without further ado, Chang, how are you today?
Feeling rather tired and worn out from having to stay here in my site cabin at the construction site for almost 36 hours now. Since I clocked in for work at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. It's 36 hours since then. It's now 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening, but I got to hand it to you, Jose. I mean, what a way to kickstart the weekend with what I can only describe as the perfect away performance and result to match as well, with our much needed away win at the Etihad. That's now 2 wins in 2, 5 goals scored and none conceded against both Burnley and Manchester City. I'm sure Christian Romero is absolutely relishing his time now as a club captain. And I mean, let's be honest, Jose, after those rather damning and somewhat damaging reports have come out that Eberechi Eze has preferred to move to N7 rather than come to N17. That's got us rather deflated. But what better way to pick ourselves up and to sort of prove to him that he is not the be all and end all of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Speaking of which, welcome, Queen Ellie. We've just only started this stream at midday UK time. What time is it over there for you, Queen
2
Ellie,
o'clock.
in Greece? Is it 2 in the afternoon?
That's in Cyprus.
Okay, it's Cyprus.
That's it. I'm in Cyprus and it's 2:06 in the afternoon. And look at my backdrop.
That's lovely.
That's
Absolutely stunning.
Oh, it's
Absolutely
incredible.
stunning.
It's absolutely stunning. You're right. Let me turn the camera that way so you can see. I'm having a fabulous time. I'm in my room at the moment because it's so hot. It's like 40 degrees. Unbelievable. But what a great win yesterday, eh? 2-0. Come on, you Spurs.
Right, let's say hello to some people in the chat and then we can start kicking the show off. Dan Davenport was here earlier, says, hi, awesome result for us over Man City. We could have scored more goals. We need to sign 2 or 3 more players before the window shuts. Shemtam, good morning, Mr. Bossman Jose and the youngest looking old man, Mr. Chimichanga Chang. Hope you're both doing well today. Great performance from Spurs at the Etihad. Ellie, Jose, I'll join you from Cyprus, hon. Well, I hope so, because you said to me you were coming and we sent you the link. I sent you the link during the week. Jess, good morning, Jess. Good afternoon, Jess. Says, big up, Chang. Jose, great win for Spurs yesterday. Thank you very much, Jess. I hope you're well. And then you've got Ronnie's here. Says, hello, Jose, Mr. Chang. Thomas the Frank agent, give him some signings for Spurs. And then you've got Jack Spurs. Says, my predictions were so bad. Dan is here. Good morning, mate. Says big up to all the non-Tottenham fans as well. Good morning. Good afternoon, Dan. It's just ticked over midday. Says good afternoon. Shemtam says, not to forget, hey, it's the beautiful Queen Ellie Hoiberg Madders Bentoncourt Berg Valverna. Hope you're well, young lady. Jack Spurs says, I didn't expect the West Ham loss.
I love it.
And Archer says, big up Jose Chang. Ellie's great performance result yesterday. So well organised defensively. Night and day from the last 2 years. Levy needs to give Frank strength in depth.
Yes.
So, obviously, yesterday, Man City 0, Tottenham 2. Did you watch the game, Chang, first and foremost?
Well, I did catch the last 5 minutes of that second half, including our second goal, which was a bit of a goal-mouth scramble, but a goal it is nonetheless. Unfortunately, I missed out on our opener just as I was tuning in. The moment I tuned in, the ref had just only blown for the goal to stand following a lengthy check by VAR. But nonetheless, I was still able to see the replay of the goal, which was courtesy of some great work down the right flank by Porro, who then, he sent a long ball down to Richarlison, who I think took it well, and he did his best to stay on side, and thankfully, he did stay on side, and wow, what a start to the season Richarlison's having. First, he nets 2 wonderful goals against Burnley last Saturday. And yesterday, he provided the assist, the much-needed assist for Johnson again, ole ole. Johnson again, ole ole. And Johnson is proving his doubters wrong again, season after season. That's his second goal in 2 games now, as is Richarlison's. And I'm so glad we held on with the clean sheet. I mean, to be honest, I thought maybe, just maybe, Erling Haaland could have done a lot better with his free header on goal in that first half, but we are thankful that it ballooned over. And in the second half, we didn't have many chances to extend the lead. There was that one chance right towards the very end in injury time I thought Solanke did well to lose his marker and get a shot on goal. And when James Trafford, I think he palmed it out to Odebeer. Odebeer's follow-up header then fell rather tamely for him to palm it away. But I mean, 2 goals for the 3 points. I mean, who am I to complain about it? Another clean sheet. And it's happened again. It's happened again. It's happened again. Manchester City, it's happened again. And as much as I would like to get carried away by the euphoria of yet another win with a clean sheet at the Etihad, I'm still very much going to stay grounded. It's only 2 games. We've been here before, especially with Big Ange, those 10 unbeaten games to his first full season. So, if anything, I would have to heap all the pressure now on Levy and the board to actually get signings, not just here we goes or premature here we goes on social media. We need actual signings and not another Tyler Dibling or some other youngster. We need proper signings. But what can I say about the performance? I mean, that was the perfect away performance. Long may it continue, but don't get me wrong. I think we still have lots of work to do. But the way I see it, I think Thomas Frank is the man. Thomas Frank is that manager to bring us forward. And long may that be the case. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
So, Ellie, I think you were still flying, weren't you, when we played City?
She might have frozen.
Repeat that again.
I think she's.
I said,
Oh.
I think you were still
yeah,
up in the air, weren't you?
But I can't.
You were still flying when we played Man City,
Yeah, I was
weren't you?
still flying, right? Yeah, I was, and there was loads of Spurs fans on the aeroplane, right? So I was
Yeah.
getting updates. I tried to get on the Wi-Fi, but I just couldn't get on it. I was
Yeah.
going to pay $11.99. I just couldn't get on it, and it was so brilliant, right? And I was getting updates from the man in front of me as well. He was a big Spurs fan. He even had a Spurs shirt on.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. We're listening.
I keep on going in and out.
We can hear you. Ellie?
I have a sneaky feeling her hotel Wi-Fi might not be too good. She's
walking somewhere.
Yep, there it is. It's cut out.
She's just gone. She was walking somewhere. Yeah, it'd be interesting because Ellie messaged me. Yeah, Ellie's in Ayia Napa House, but Ellie messaged me and said, I can't get Wi-Fi on the plane. But her message came through to me. And she was saying, I can't get Wi-Fi on the plane. But what's the score? Now, I received her message, the message she sent to me saying that. And then all of a sudden, I got a message saying, don't worry about it. I've got the score. We've won 2-0. So, yeah, it would have been interesting to find out from her. But she'll come back when she's ready. So, before we carry on, got some more people in the chat. Vindaloo, here we go. Big up Jose Chang. Great jammy away win yesterday. Good afternoon. Got a right headache, so bear with me. Why have you got a headache? You got a headache from talking too much, Vinders? It can't be anything more than that. You must keep talking and talking, and that's why you've got your headache. Good afternoon, Has. Been a while. I hope you are, sir. Says Frank has given us structure, adaptability, and even passion. Levy needs to give him the 10 and the left winger we clearly still need. Savinha and Paqueta, improved players. That was Johnson's best game ever for us. People that are here, smash a like for the stream. It all helps. I appreciate you all for being here. I don't know if she's coming back at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll move on. So, Chang, you watched? So you watched it from the second goal onwards, the rest of the game, right? You haven't watched any highlights or anything, no?
I have seen maybe the short version of the highlights over on Sky.
Okay.
It was those 2-minute highlights. I saw the early Poro free kick. in which he got a rebound, in which he tried to lash one into the top left corner that went narrowly wide. Apart from that, I think City had a few good attempts on goal as well before we then open our accounts. And can I just say our second goal was kind of fortuitous, but that's what happened when you put pressure. When you put pressure on the back line, you're bound to get it everyone's so often. And we made it count yesterday, albeit via a wicket deflection. But I'm absolutely delighted to see Perlinia score his first competitive goal for us in lily white colours. And I think the second half remained more or less the same. We almost reverted to type and created trouble for ourselves in that second half, where we almost did a carbon copy giveaway. That was quite similar to the second goal we scored. Fortunately, we were able to clear it, and I don't think they had many chances that actually come to mind. I think just maybe, we could have made a lot more substitutions a lot sooner, but I'm absolutely glad that Bergvall got some much needed minutes himself. And Solanke as well. I did mention earlier at the beginning of the show, Solanke, well, he could have easily got us a third, but I'm glad that he's still getting minutes, still getting to full fitness, Solanke. And Odebeer, well, good to see him on the pitch as well. Odebeer, he did try to hit the ball from that Solanke follow-up. There she is again. There she is. Okay, it's back. And with that, it's back to you, Jose.
So you got Finn saying big up Jose Chang in the chat. Good afternoon to you, Finn. I hope you're well. I hope you got your good results and that your results were good, mate. Nate the Ape says El Tel and Chang, ole ole. El Tel and Chang, ole ole. You've got Vindaloo saying good win yesterday. You played well. Frank's setup was good. 5 at the back, 4-2-4 going forward. It was good. Dan says to Haz, Johnson's best game ever. What did he do yesterday that he ain't done in previous games by being anonymous for 85 minutes and then scores a goal? Am I missing something? Right. So, Els, we were saying about you. You were on the plane, right?
Yes.
So you sent me a text saying, I'm on the plane. The Wi-Fi's messing about. Can't get hold of it. What's the score? So I don't know where you sent me that from. Did you send me it from the plane?
From the plane, yeah. Right, and then as soon as Spurs scored, all the Spurs fans came alight. There was loads of them, all around. I saw one. He had the cockerel on his shirt, so I knew he was a Spurs fan, obviously. But there was loads, and we were all singing Johnson again. Ole, ole. Oh, it was brilliant, right? And then they were giving me updates. And when it went 2-0 at half time, I thought the second half they're going to come at us, but we were quite good in the second half as well. We controlled the game and we kept them to like a few chances here and there. But Vicario made 2 magnificent saves, didn't he? Brilliant.
Yeah.
One low down and one where he spread himself like Peter Schmeichel, right? And he managed to get the ball over to the left-hand side of the goal. You know what? I was so proud of them because they played as a team, not just like nullifying them. We played our game as well when we had to, right? And I'm so proud of all the team, especially Papa Matassar and Paulinho. They were.
Hold on, we're gonna come to all that because I'm just trying to get, because obviously you sent me text messages yesterday, 2 of them, and then the other one says, "Don't worry about it. I know that we've beat them, or we beat them 2-0, or I know the score's 2-0, something like that."
Yeah.
So I'm trying to gather how you sent me 2 messages when you were up in the air, one after the other, but they both came through more or less the same time. But you must have sent them at different times, but they came through to me more or less the same time. So when you've obviously we've won 2-0, have you managed to watch highlights?
I watched highlights on the telly, right? Because they had it on. Teos got it up on the news, and then it came on. I think it was Eurosport.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So
sorry, because my husband's phone's going off.
And where's your husband?
He was lying down in bed.
Oh my God.
He's so tired from. They went down to the beach. I stayed in the room because I can't stand the heat. It's too hot for me. Yeah. T, can you go over there, T? T, can you... T, sorry, but can you go in the bathroom? It's a bit loud.
Right.
Sorry
So
about
what?
that, Jose.
That's right. What we'll start with. Then
one of
is
his mates has just phoned him up.
okay. Right, Chang. I'm going to start with you. Right. Positive performances yesterday.
I mean, positive performances for me. Every single player on that team gave a very, very positive performance. But if I had to single out one player, it's going to be Pepe Matassar. I mean, for me, he was arguably the man of the match. And I think, if memory serves me right, he did get the official man of the match award for that away win. But there were a lot of outstanding performances. Another one would be Richarlison. I mean, he, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, he got 2 wonderful goals against Burnley last Saturday. We did cover that last Sunday as well with Queen Ellie. And yesterday, he then added an assist to his tally to help Johnson open the scoring. But if there was one, well, I wouldn't call it a negative. If there was one downside, it was the Kudus attempt, or rather, him bearing down on goal, and he got absolutely clattered by by the City goalkeeper, which I'm still surprised that wasn't a red card or a sending off, or something more drastic to be taken against James Trafford. But after that particular challenge, Kudus just didn't seem like himself. I know it's still very early doors, it's still very early in the season, but we know what Kudus is all about, and I was actually hoping to see a lot more of him yesterday, especially in the second half, especially with the City players tiring. Unfortunately, somehow or other, that challenge by James Trafford on him outside the box must have knocked the wind out of his sails, and I'm glad he came out of it all right. Hopefully he didn't suffer anything else apart from maybe just getting winded in that challenge. But otherwise, I mean, the performances all around was remarkable. And special shout out as well to Christian Romero, our newly crowned club captain. That's 2 clean sheets, 2 consecutive league clean sheets too, I might add, for Christian Romero. And long may that continue as well. But don't get me wrong, I think our work has just only begun. We still have a home game against Bournemouth next weekend. I'm sure we might cover that towards the end of the show, a bit of a preview if we have the time for that. But otherwise, I think even the manager himself, Thomas Frank, I mean, he is absolutely proving his doubters wrong. A lot of people said that he wasn't cut out for it. He isn't, silverware pedigree. Well, he completely outclassed PSG in the final, and we would have won it had it not been for our lack of depth on the subs. And he outclassed City at the Etihad again yesterday. So long may that continue as well. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with the performance, Jose. Hope that let's keep it up, but let's not kid ourselves. We really need reinforcements, especially if the number 10, any of our number 10s aren't going to be, back soon. We will have to reinforce that. Hopefully, we will get someone of quality and experience before the end of the transfer window. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
Ellie, from what you've watched and from what you've seen, then what's the positive performances for you? You're muted. Hold on.
You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah,
Go on.
sorry. The whole of the team, because they played as a team, and they all helped each other, like we did against PSG boys. We played as a unit, right? And everybody knew their job. And it's a breath of fresh air that Frank's got them all organised. But the standouts for me were Paulinho. They showed on Match of the Day that Paulinho won 8 of his duels, right? I just thought Pape Sarr just had the edge on him, right? I'd give it to both of them, but if you have to pick one man, I'd be with Chang, with Pape Sarr, because he covered so much ground. and he done the simple things, yeah, which he doesn't normally do. His passing's not in the past. It's not been the great, and decision making has not been the best. But he's improved on his game. And when I even sent a voice message to Saba saying that I'm really impressed with him because he was working pre-season on his fitness and strength, and he was also working with a technical guy. You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yes. Now she's frozen. She froze. She shouted at us. She did everything. Sorry. Let me cut with some comments and then we can carry on. Nape says, Hotspur, you're asking, is it 40 degrees? She said that at the start of the show when she first came on. It was 40 degrees out there. Nape says, there's a lot of promising signs. I don't expect us to keep winning. There will certainly be some bad performances in there, but hopefully we can get enough consistency to finish in a decent position. Has says, oops, what does Has say? Has says, in my opinion, it was Bentancur. I think his work goes unnoticed. He does everything. Quez, good morning to you, Quez. Quez is here, and says, "Isn't it not coming up?" All right. Yeah, sorry. Quez is here, and he says, "Quez to you as well." Quez. Sorry, my mouse is playing up. Here she is again. Look, there she is. You right, Trouble?
Can you hear us, Queen Ellie?
She'll have to come back in again. There we go. Let me see. Hello? She's gone. Anyway, that's what you get. That's what you get when you're live and you have to rely on technology. So the positive performances for me, I thought the team had a positive performance yesterday. So what we did yesterday, Chang, is before the game started, a lot of people said that Frank would go to a back five. Frank would set up the same way he did against PSG. The saving grace we have at the moment for me, Chang, is that we play one game a week. And with that then means that we can do a lot on the training pitch for a whole week. So there's a lot of tactics and game planning and stuff that we can do for the week, right? Because when it comes to us having 2 games a week in the future, there'll be a lot less time to train because you're in between games. So therefore, it's good at the moment that we can play once a week, right? But this will be the last week, Chang, because after this we've got a 2-week break, and when we come back and we play against, I think, is it West Ham away? I think it might be. I think it might be West Ham away when we return.
Let me check for you.
When we return from the international break, and then after that, the game I think the first game in the Champions League is the midweek of that week. I think. I'm not sure, but I think it is. And in that case,
Okay, so I have the fixtures here with us, with me. After we play Bournemouth on the 30th of August, we have a 2-week break, and we will be playing West Ham United away at the London Stadium. That's on the 14th of September.
Yeah.
And a week after that, we will play Brighton away at the Amex before we then host Wolves at home.
Okay, but between the West Ham game and the next game, I think that in midweek that week, I think it might well be the first European game.
Okay.
Because the groups get decided. Sorry, the groups get decided next week, right? So if that's the case, then this is actually the last week until then that Tottenham can actually there's training during the week because we've got a week between games. when we come back from the international break, we're going to go into 3 games a week. But you know what I'm talking about: a game on a weekend, a game in the midweek. And then when that happens, there's a lot less training that we can do because you're in between matches. So the saving grace for the moment is that Thomas Frank gets the opportunity again this week to train the players on the pitch, and get his points across, get his tactics across, get his non-negotiables across. So what he wants them to do in possession, out of possession. It's important. This week is really, really important for Tottenham. Regardless of who we play, it's just an important week. But what I found yesterday is that I was shocked with that he didn't go with a 5. And I must admit, we were all interested because unlike last year, where we could all, before the game, if you said, what's the selection going to be? You'd probably get 9, 10 out of the 11 players correct. There wasn't that many curveballs last year. However, this season with Thomas Frank, it can be anyone in the team. You can't say you know who he's going to pick. Yeah, you can't say you know what the formation is going to be. So, in that case, we went into the game yesterday, and I felt we matched up to Man City. Man City played with Nico and Tino Reinders as a 2. We had Paulinho and Bentancur as a 2. And then they played with a 3 across. So they played with Cherky, Mamouche, Oscar Bob with Haaland up front, where we played Papsar, Kudos, Johnson with Richie up front. So I think we matched up. We both teams went in with a 4-2-3-1. But I did the pump up on We Are Tottenham TV yesterday, and I said that when I saw the lineup, I said it looks like a 4-2-3-1, can easily change into 4-5-1, but then equally, if needed, we can change into a 5-3-2, because then what we do is that you have Paulinho drops in between the centre halves, and our fullbacks then become wing backs. So the team that he picked yesterday was adaptable in game, depending what's going on. We could adapt to whatever, and I think that's what Thomas Frank brings as well. And I said that before the season started. I said in game, we tactically, he can change the team up when we're playing. We know that he picks teams, and in the teams that he selects are the teams that he think will do best against his opponents, because he studies all the opponents. So we set up, and our tactics are different every game depending who the opponent is. And I felt yesterday we matched up with them in what we selected. I think a lot of people were quite, we didn't go with a 5 at the back. But there was a lot of positive performances yesterday. And I'm just going to concentrate on the performances of the 3 midfield, right? So when we were on the show yesterday on We Are Tottenham TV, Ash, Matic and myself were talking about, if we're setting up the same as City, then who there's going to have to be a lot of communication, because you're going to have to pass players on. And I felt there was communication. I felt the midfield 3 done absolutely brilliantly, because Sarr was the furthest forward, right? So Sarr would take out Nico. You had Bentancur with Reinders, and Cherky was their furthest forward. He was being picked up by Paulinho. And if the players switched and swapped around, because you can do, there was so much communication from our midfielders. They communicated. They were never ever found out of possession. They were always marking at the right time and that. So there was plenty of communication between the 3 midfielders. For me, I felt Paulinho did well. I'm agreeing with Haz. I think that Bentancur, watching him against PSG and at the stadium last week, Bentancur covers every blade of grass. And because he doesn't do something sexy, people just dismiss him. But Bentancur's been an important part to this midfield so far. And Paulinho, obviously, the understanding between them both goes without saying. They have picked up such an understanding. And it makes a difference having Paulinho playing beside Bentancur rather than maybe Abyss beside Bentancur, so to speak. And then Sarr has been It's as if Sarah's been let off the leash, Chang. It's as if that he was being held back, and it may well be tactics that he was being held back. But now with these tactics that Thomas Frank's employing, we are certainly different. We are certainly seeing a different Sarr. I'm going to go on record and say, right, and I'll go on record and say, I wasn't a fan of Pat Mate Sarr. I said last season, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he gives us. All it was legs for me last year. This time round, with different tactics and the way he's being employed, for me, Sarr at the moment is an integral part of that midfield. And they're the midfield three that are going to be our first choice midfielders for the foreseeable. I mean, I don't know whether we're going to be players in, so I can't speak about the future. I can only speak about the here and now. And for the here and now, they're going to be the three starting midfielders for a while. And then you've got on the sidelines, you're going to have your Bergvals and your Greys, because Biss hasn't been in the squad at all for the last 2 weeks. So, you know, I'd like to see more players come into the club, but for now, I can only talk about right now. And right now, for me, them three are important. The boys up front, kudos. Kudos played well again yesterday. He gave Ait-Nouri and Ake a torrid time. Johnson played well in the sense that he was getting back, he was defending, he was playing for the team and not for himself. And obviously, he took his goal brilliantly. And Richie has had a new lease of life. Richie has been smashing it. And like I said yesterday, last week, I might have said this last week and I'll say it again. At the game last week, I was speaking to Robbie from Lily White Lane. And I said to him before the Burnley game, I said to him, for me, I prefer Solanke to Richie. However, after Richie's performance against PSG, and obviously Solanke's coming back from injury, there is no way at all that you can drop Richie. And Richie went on to score 2 goals. And that still stands now. Richie is playing and is on fire. And what you want from Richie is you want a healthy, fit Richie. Right? Richie, his biggest problem is his availability. And if he's not available, then he's no use to you. But if he's available, then of course he becomes a weapon that you can use. And obviously with Thomas Frank as well, what Richie likes, and all players need it, but some more than others, is that arm around your shoulder. And I think he gets that from Thomas Frank, and he gets it from Justin Cochran and the rest of the coaches, more so than what he probably got before. And therefore, that's why we're seeing the best of him. So I thought the midfield played really well. Thought there was a lot of communication, and they were always in the right spaces, all three of them. But then equally, the front three worked extremely hard for us as well yesterday. Just before we say, hold on, and I'm going to bring you in on that, I just want to make sure I've got people's chats. Nape says, have you seen much of Akilush? What's your opinion on him as a player? Value he can add to this team and the chances of signing him. I'll start that. We'll answer that later for you. Jay Afra says, hi, Jose. Would you be happy with El Canus? I'll answer that as well later. Nape says, damn it. My guests are here. Have to go. Great stream, guys. Thanks, Nape. Take care, mate. Queen says, the Queen is saying, I'll leave it, Jose, as the internet connection keeps dropping. I'll stay in the chat. Thank you very much, Ellie. Beyond 72 says, I'm really right, but I rated Sarr from day one, as I like the way he tried to keep the ball moving and not taking lots of touches and then just passing it back or sideways. It's fair enough. Quez says, kudos returns to the London Stadium. That is our next match. Hotspur says, I think Frank will rotate his midfield a lot, i.e. Gray Bergvall will see more game time once Champions League starts, which is why it's imperative we get a proper 10 and left wing to have even more options. We're going to come and touch on that later, Haz, but I don't disagree with your comment there at all. Jose and Chang, you two gents, love you both. And going for lunch after watch your show, boys. You have a nice lunch, Ellie. Then we've got Lord Rodney Trotter. Good afternoon, sir, says Joe Paulinho, mate. Pure Coys, Nige. Good afternoon, Nige. I hope you're well. Says big up, chaps, and the chat. Hotspur says, I have a feeling in these big games we will see Bentancur, Paulinho, and Sarr as our midfield, which is what I said. Milton, good evening to you, Milton. I hope you're well, sir. Says, hope you're well, Jose and Chang. The player we should gone for was Francisco Conceição from Porto. Went to Juve for 30 million euro to paid over 4 years. Absolute bargain. I see Juve selling him for 480 million. Do you know what, Milton? It's interesting.
I think it's for 80 million, not 480 million. Selling him for 80 million.
But the thing is, I will say, Milton, with this, it's quite interesting that you get these players when you sell players to other leagues. So Francisco Conceição, you said he's gone to Juve for 30 million. If a premiership team had gone in for him, and this is not just in Portugal, but this happens all over the world at the moment. If a premiership team comes in, you're adding 20 million on top of that straight away. Straight away, it's a 20 million hike fee because it's the premiership they're coming in. So a deal that's worth 30 million and looks a bargain would cost you a minimum of 50 million over here. So, but he is a good player, undoubtedly. Scott Colliver is here. Good evening, Scott. I hope you're well. Says hello, Jose and Chang. I hope you're well, Scott. And Mr. Belcher, Sir Rob, as I call him. Good afternoon, sir. I hope you and the family are well. He's been very kind, and he's gifted 5 channel memberships, which is very kind of you. And then Rob says, hopefully another 5 players for the predictions. Big up Jose and Chang. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. These have gone to Mike Zappa, Ian Ferguson, Rick Kane, Hamish Connellan, and Cam Sharks. They're the 5 people that have been gifted from Rob Belcher. It's very, very kind of you, Rob. Thank you very much. I'm going to go and carry on with the show, but I've saved them 2 questions for after, Chang, all right? So we'll answer them when we get towards the end. Good afternoon to Colin Blackshaw. Says, hey, Jose and Chang. Good afternoon, Colin, sir. I hope you're well. Chang, clean sheet.
I mean, what can I say? At the very beginning of the show, I did allude to Christian Romero being our new club captain, showing that discipline in the back line. And I think this is actually a big, big improvement, not only for him personally, but for our club as well. If you consider the gung-ho tactics, the carefree and very sometimes just bullish the way we push forward under Big Ange. Now we are seeing a more measured, a more composed, patient and meticulous sort of playing out from the back. Of course, we will still have our hiccups, and we nearly saw that in the second half. Earlier the second half yesterday, when Vicario tried to play it out to Van der Ven and he was robbed, but thankfully that was the only mishap. And a lot of people are saying that Romero himself is a player transformed, and I couldn't agree more. If you to compare his statistics from before Big Ange took over and after Big Ange took over, Romero is almost like a player reborn himself. He's already cut out all the rash challenges. I think the last time he picked up a red card was in 2023, just before Big Ange, took the reins, and that in itself is saying a lot for a player who has been, under a lot of criticism, especially for needless rash challenges that has cost us dearly. I mean, long may this continue, and I honestly feel that the players around him, whether it's the Luka Vuskovic or even a Kevin Denso, probably even what's his name now? Ashley Phillips. Yeah, Ashley Phillips. If and when he does make the grade and bed in with the seniors, I think they have a lot to learn from him as far as defending is concerned. But happy for yet another clean sheet. I mean, you wouldn't be a Spurs fan, or rather, you aren't a real Spurs fan if you're not sweating over our 2-0 lead with 15, 20 minutes to go. As we saw very quickly evaporated against PSG in the Super Cup final. But I'm glad we hung on to the clean sheet. And as much as I want to say that we will be getting yet another clean sheet next weekend when we play Bournemouth before the mini international break, I mean, let's be practical here. I think there's only so many games that we can go with clean sheets, but the more the merrier. And let's just build on this away performance, build on our defensive solidity, and hopefully, come the end of the season, we will be reaping the rewards, because I think going forward offensively, we don't have a problem. It's just getting the job done, getting the 3 points, seeing us over the line. And somehow I think the Super Cup final loss was a bit of a blessing in disguise, because now we are racking up the clean sheets. Hopefully, we're going to make it 3-3 next weekend. Yeah, I can only hope that the defense builds on this. And and this is a big if the rumors are true that Luka Vuskovic is on his way out on a loan, then I really do hope that we won't be short on defenders, because Van der Ven, especially Van der Ven's medical record isn't all that good. But yeah, let's hope we can get all our defenders fully fit and ready for our European campaign. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
Mr. Shear is here, says, hello, Jose, Chang and chat, Cobbers and Cabez. Good evening to you, Mr. Shear, who's flexed his member badge, member for 12 months, David. Thank you very much for being here, my man. And then also, I did forget, and it was my fault, and I forgot, but Paul G has become a new YouTube member. But I forgot to say that earlier, but thank you very much, Paul G, for becoming a YouTube member. Lord Rodney says, a week left in the window to give Frank the tools he needs to make a birdie and not a par. Will he get backed? And good evening to Eugene, says, hi everyone, big up and leave you out. Eugene, I hope you're well, sir. David Shear says, Nightle, hey, he's come and gone, David. Hotspur says, Dragusin is coming back. He must be if they're letting go of Vuskovic, or they're going for this centre half that they want to get. For me, controversial or not, Chang, clean sheet, that's 2 on the trot. We've not conceded this season and we scored 5 goals. Richarlison 2, Johnson 2, and Paulinho 1, right? But for me, my man of the match yesterday, and I'm saying it was a great team performance. So, at the end of the day, it's hard to pick a man of the match because so many people played well. A lot of people have gone for perhaps my man of the match yesterday, though, was none other than our captain. Our captain last week, people gave him pelters saying that he was sloppy on the ball, gave the ball away a few times. Yesterday he ate Haaland. Yesterday he ate all the attacks that were coming in. He put in tackle after tackle after tackle. He spoke to his defenders. He marshalled the defense. He did captain things. He did what big boys do yesterday. And I felt that he was absolutely monstrous in his performance yesterday. And I felt it's very, very unfair, the yellow card that he received, because he won the ball and never touched the player. And I just thought it was really, really unfair. He was in control of that tackle all the way through. I just don't understand, unless someone can educate me, I don't understand why he was given that yellow card yesterday, which people could say blotted his performance. But for me, it didn't. He ate their strikers. He ate their midfielders. Everything that came in, he ate and swallowed up. And for me, he would put in a proper captain shift, led from example. And I used to say this last season and the season before, when your team knows that you've got Van der Ven and a fit Van der Ven and a fit Romero, your team trust. They trust in the centre halves you've got because they trust in them players. And therefore, the rest of the team will go and do what they need to do because they have trust in them 2 players at the back. And, at the end of the day, having them two players fit and playing makes us stronger. Makes us stronger, no doubt about it at all. And then the other thing is that if you look at them in isolation, or as a unit, we've got a really good defence. We've got a really good defence. Playing with the right tactics, we've got a really good defence. They're not bad players. They're very, very good players. They're high caliber players, what we have playing in the back four. And, you know, now that we've got the six that people, I'm going to call it a six. People cried out for this number 6 for a couple of years, 3 years possibly, because people, although Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was the last person to kind of fill that role in, he never actually was a natural 6, where João Paulinho is a natural 6. With him playing in front of the two centre halves and mopping up, we look a totally different outfit. Now, I am going to agree, and we're going to talk later about what we're going to do going forward. But the two players, the additions that we've brought in Kudos and in Paulinho, are the top. They're top players that we've brought in. We just need to sprinkle a bit more of that stardust, but we will talk about that in the future. Moving on, let me just catch some chat and then we'll carry on. Mr. Wong says hello. Hello, Mr. Wong. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Thank you for being here. Eugene says he's taking a break from work at the moment. Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, Eugene working. Good man. Milton says, I think Porro has improved a lot under Frank. Don't disagree. With Francisco Conceição, FC Porto are in financial difficulties and are selling players undervalued. Benfica normally sell players and get top dollar. It doesn't matter what, as I said, Milton, it doesn't matter if they're underselling them. As soon as Premiership team comes in, they tax you. They charge you 20, 30 million pounds more. It's absolute madness, but it happens. It does happen. So, what do you think of the tactics and execution then yesterday, Chang?
Well, I can only speak of what I saw from possibly the 40th minute onwards, but in terms of the tactics, I think it was almost pretty much the same sort of tactics that Thomas Frank deployed against PSG, with the exception of us only having 2 centre backs compared to the 3 we had on Wednesday night, the previous Wednesday at Udine, and I thought that that actually allowed one of our defenders to drop back deep and help dig the team out of trouble whenever they try to push forward, and that player is none other than Paulinho. And I know that the transfer window is what, 7 days remaining till next Sunday, the end of the month. But Paulinho is himself proving to be a very, very astute signing. And if he fancies signing on as a permanent, I would gladly like to have him on a permanent. I think that he has a lot to offer, more so than Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, which I can safely say now. Seeing as someone is not on the panel with us, if she's listening, I apologize, but I think that Paulinho has a lot to offer us, and he might actually come out to be Paulinho might end up being the Bissouma we should have had, or rather the Bissouma who could have been for us at the rate that he's playing. So long may that continue for Paulinho. But yeah, as far as the tactics is concerned, I think we did what was expected of us, which is to set up shop and just hit them on a counter, and that worked perfectly for the first goal. When they had the ball, we press and press and press, and that then turned out to be the second goal. And when you're 2-0 up at halftime, it makes Thomas Frank's halftime break speech, or rather his pep talk, that much easier to relay to the players. And right now, I would love to see how he sort of changes tactics whenever we come up against a brick wall, or rather, if we come up against clubs and teams that park the bus when they know that they are outmatched and outgunned. I think we will be seeing that rather soon when another Burnley or possibly a Sunderland or even a West Ham United come to N17. Right now, I will just enjoy this few games which I've seen so far under Thomas Frank, and even as far back as the first ever North London derby outside of Britain when we defeated Woolwich by a goal to nil in Hong Kong. I can see that Thomas Frank really knows the players inside out, and he has what it takes to get the most, or rather, he gets the best out of the players. I just hope that if and when we do pick up our first loss in the league, the fans won't suddenly, down tools and start getting on his back, because we've seen that time and time and time again with previous managers, regardless if it's Big Ange, Nuno, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, even Pochettino. So for the foreseeable future, all us first fans, let's give Thomas Frank our full backing. I really do hope Daniel Levy and the board do the same as well. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
Yeah, as I said, for me, the tactics and execution were absolutely spot on. Like I said earlier, we matched up with Man City. They've had a whole week of preparing for the game, which I said is important. Without playing the 2 and 3 games a week, it's important now that we instill everything that needs to be into these players. And they understand going forward what's expected, and that, and these, for me, like I said, these are really important weeks. Before even signing players, these are very important weeks, because after this, that's it. The training goes out the window after this. The only people that can then train with you are the players that don't get called up for international duty. But then it all stagnant, because you've got players that leave your club, players will be coming back. But all the players that leave your club on the same day. So after Sunday's games next week, all your players will leave, because I think that the weekend next week, the last games are on a Sunday because it's international week. So all your players leave, but they come back at different times depending on the time zones and where they've gone to play in the world. So they all come back at different times. So this is the last week when you've got the whole squad together and you can implement everything you need to do. And that's now. That's now that has to be done. So, as I said, it's important. I think the tactics and executions were spot on. I thought they were absolutely brilliant yesterday. But they equally, when I went last week to Burnley game, people said, yeah, but it's only Burnley. And last week, and I'll maintain this, respect every team that you come up against, regardless of the name of that team. Respect every team. Every team that plays in the Premiership needs to be respected. And you can only put out a team and try and get a result against the team that's in front of you. And that's exactly what we did last week. And that is exactly, again, what we did yesterday. All it is that people are going to turn around and say Man City's a sexier name than Burnley, but equally, they were both two good performances, and you've got to beat what's in front of you. Two different games, because obviously Burnley came out with a low block. How many times in the last few years have we suffered against low block teams? But we got a 3-0 victory last week. So, at the end of the day, you've got to take the positives from both games. Yeah, there's work to be done, but you've got to take the positives from both games. Right, I'm going to ask Chang, right, and then I'm going to answer some of the questions. We'll answer some of the questions. But Chang, what's next for us? In all manners, I'm asking, what's next for us? It can be transfer window, it can be the next game, it can be anything you wish. But what would you see in being next for us?
I think it's very important for us to sort out our outgoings before we turn our focus, or rather our attention, to the incomings. Again, I mentioned earlier this Luka Vuskovic loan deal. If it means that Radu Dragushin is ready to be welcomed back to the senior squad and possibly be paired up with Kevin Danso for our Champions League campaign. Then Luka Vuskovic will join the likes of Mikey Moore and Will Lancashire and Alfie Dorrington and Alfie Devine on season-long loans. But other than that, I think once that is done, I think we really have to bolster our squad. And the Eze saga is all but over now. I know it was just only all but confirmed on Wednesday night, but for me it feels like last month. That's how much I'm over that, and I think the sooner we get someone over the line, the better. And this is what I saw earlier today over on social media. The first one I'm going to read out. This is from africafoot.com. Okay, africafoot.com is saying now that we are set to hijack Crystal Palace's attempts to sign Moroccan midfielder Bilal El Kanouche from Leicester after missing out on Eze. This is from africafoot.com. And the next one, this is from Indie Kyla News, is saying that Manchester United are hoping Tottenham will step into the race for Alejandro Garnacho following their failed pursuit of Eberechi Eze. Spurs officials have now made official contact with Manchester United for the signing of Garnacho. Chelsea, however, are still the favourites to land Garnacho. So those are two, rumors coming out. Personally, after that whole Eze debacle, I will no longer entertain any of these rumors, even if it's just me clutching at straws until the player has signed his contract and he's done all his press conferences or his publicity shots and is holding up the jersey. Until such then, I'm not going to, even be bothering with all these rumors, even if it's premature. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano, because we already seen that happen with Morgan Gibbs-White. But yeah, we definitely need signings, Jose. We need signings and need them fast. The priority right now will be a number 10, but if we can get Savinio over the line, he might even deputize as a number 10, assuming that he would be our like-for-like replacement for Sonny, which I think should also be looked at sort of long-term or rather a permanent replacement for Sonny. I would very much like us to break our transfer record, get that new marquee signing now that we've lost that one great marquee signing that was Son Heung-min. And yeah, if we can even get two over the line before deadline day, I'll be very glad. One should be the bare minimum. If we don't get any more signings over the line by deadline day, I think it's going to be a long summer, and it's going to be one of the worst transfer windows we've seen in a long time. And that is saying a lot, considering we've already got Palhinha on loan, Takai from Japan, and also Kudus from West Ham. But seeing how the likes of Chelsea and Woolwich and Liverpool, even United, who have, I think they got, what was his name? Mbeumo. Even United have got Mbeumo, so I think we could do some business ourselves, not just a Kudus. And yeah, I think that is going to be the priority for us, Jose. Get our outgoings done and dusted early on, and then focus all our attention on incomings. Even better still, if we can get Don Paratici in before the end of the transfer window, so he can have a say in our incomings, that will be the absolute icing on the cake. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
So for me, what's next for us? Oh no, do you know what? Before we do that, we need to catch up with the chat. So I've started some questions that we were going to answer at the end. Queen Ellie says Paulinho will come on a permanent basis. Permanent, and yes, he's better than Højbjerg. It's okay, Chang. I agree. Milton says it's 10 p.m. Sunday night, enjoying a night with a few beers. Finally have a day off work tomorrow. Milton, enjoy, mate. Have a good time. You enjoy whatever you want to do, and it's nice to have a day off as well. Here in this country, a lot of us have a day off tomorrow here in England because it's the August bank holiday, so a lot of us will have time off. People are asking about Takai. I haven't got a clue about Takai. I don't know whether Takai will be a first teamer or not first team, whether he's been sent out on loan. I haven't got a clue. We've not seen Takai yet. He suffers from plantar fasciitis or plantar fascia or fasciitis or whatever they call it. But with that can be cured. That can be cured. I'm surprised he's young, and I'm surprised he's been out. We signed him over a month ago, and I'm surprised he's been out this long because all you do sometimes you just get inner soles for it, and there's tablets you can take for it. So at the end of the day, I'm surprised he's still out, but we'll have to wait and see. Dan says, no disrespect, if you think we should be more focused on sales right now when we need a number 10 full stop who wants to buy our players permanently, it's literally loan deals or nothing. Milton says that he would go for Harvey Elliott or Harvey Barnes. Milton says Sonny's first goal for LAFC was class. Yeah, it was a really good goal, but you can see he was absolutely upset that they drew 1-1 in the end. Dallas are one of the better teams in the MLS, so a 1-1 draw away to Dallas ain't no bad result. But yeah, I understand. Mr. Agambar, good morning. Sorry, good afternoon, Chris, sir. I hope you are well, says big up Jose, Mr. Chang. I hope you are well, Chris. Milton then says, I said on Nice Channel when we got Paulinho, I said we would get a 10 goal assist total for the year, 36 games left with 9 to go. So yeah, what's next for us is that for me, I repeat again, I think for me, it's important that this week we use wisely, that we instill more of the tactics and information that he can that the team and the coach, sorry, the manager and the coaches can impart on the team, because this will be the last week for a while where we'll get a full week's training set up. When we come back from the international break, we start playing in Europe as well. We'll have 3 games a week. You won't be able to do the intense training because you're obviously going to have a lot of downtime because you're playing matches every 3 days. So that part for us is next and is important, which I keep repeating. For me, that's really important. The next game is the 30th. So for a team perspective, players perspective, managers and coaches, it's important for them to, as I said, a bit of what I've just said now, but also get the team ready for the next home game against Bournemouth, which I'll be at the game. So when we do the show next week, Chang, I can tell you what I saw. But equally, in the meantime, look, I'm really happy with Kudos. I'm really happy with Paulinho. I'm happy with Danso. I'm going to say I'm happy with Tell as well. I'm happy with them all, right? But we've got 2 players in that, in the 2 players in Kudos and Paulinho, that improved that first team straight away and have been around the block in the Premiership, know what they're doing. And what we need is we need more players of that ilk. And I'm hoping that we can get deals across the line this week. Do you know what? We've just actually fallen. We're in a half and half. Tottenham for many, many years under this ownership always got deals done really late in the window. And on deadline day, Tottenham are one of the grounds to go to on deadline day because we always did things late. Well, we have got, today's Sunday, so we've got, it's Monday week. So it's tomorrow week here in the UK. Tomorrow week when the window shuts. So we've brought some players in already, but we've got more to come. We want more to come in. So it means we're going to go down to the end of the window again. And I'm hoping that we do add. We have been told by loads of people that, we're after X, Y, and Z. Chang read some of them out. We're after X, Y, and Z. Just go out and get the players. Just go out and get what we need. It's look, first 11. Let's get it right. The first 11 that we've got are really good. Yeah. If we didn't have the injuries we've got, then our squad would be deeper. But we haven't got your Dragosins. We haven't got Kulusevskis. We haven't got Madisons. So our squad is not as deep as what it could be because we've got lots of injuries. So at the end of the day, I just think that we need to improve and get some players in. And I'm hoping Tottenham can go and do that. Whether it's the Don, whether it's Langer, because it's quite weird. If reports are true, Langer's been on holiday or went away in these last few weeks. He went away for 2 weeks to his home country. We're in the middle of a transfer window and Langer's gone home. I know you've got to take leave sometime, but in your most busiest period, I don't know. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what's being reported. So yeah, it's important to bring players in as well. We need to do that. We need to bring players in, and I hope that they can get some deals across the line. This Savinho thing won't go away. The Savinho thing is not going away at all. We keep hearing about Savinho all the time, but at the end of the day, we've now played against Man City yesterday. What's your feelings, Chang? If we had beat them, would they have sold us Savinho? Sorry. If we had lost to them, would we have got Savinho?
I would gladly miss out on Savinho just so that we can beat them, and that is not after the fact that we've already beaten them. But honestly, let's not kid ourselves and let's be practical. If a player like Savinho wants to come to us, he would have come to us a whole long time ago. And and this is a big if as well, if Manchester City are indeed serious about doing business with another top 4 rival, which after yesterday's result, I think they shouldn't take us lightly, and that might just only, how should I say this, throw a spanner in the works for any sort of a deal that City might do with us in the near future, not only for Savinho, but for any other player as well. That includes Jack Grealish, which has already gone to Everton. So that's another City player which has gone to another club and not to us. So I think either we pay whatever City are asking for, or if City are adamant that they do not want to do business with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, I say we just forget it and move on to other targets. The last thing we need right now, Jose, and the last thing we really need right now, people in the chat, is to drag on another transfer saga that ends in tears. We've already seen one happen with Morgan Gibbs-White. We've seen another one happen with Eberechi Eze. I think this is going to go into a cul-de-sac dead end, everyone. I think we should just give up this whole Savinho farce and move on to someone like a Ben Wharton. Although how Palace played us over the Eze's transfer to Woolwich, I don't think we're going to go in for Ben Wharton. So let's just get whoever we can get, but it has to be a Mohamed Kudus or a Palhinha signing, someone that walks straight into that starting 11. Having said that, it's got to be someone who can come in and eventually replace Maddison. If we are getting a number 10, this number 10 is someone that replaces Maddison in the near future, because I don't think we're getting back the same Maddison as we are hoping to get from the one that we signed from Leicester. And if we were to get another left winger, it's also got to be an immediate impact signing, like a Savinho, someone who can eventually make that left wing his own and be our Sonny replacement. Having said that, let's focus on these 2 positions first, the number 10 and also the left wing. And if we can get another youngster through our ranks into the youth setup or even out on loan, then I would welcome that as well. But make no mistake, we cannot afford to sign more youngsters just to make up the numbers, whether it's for Europe or for our domestic cups. Having said that, back to you, FA.
So I'm just going to read out some of the chat, and then I'm going to ask questions that we've been put in there, and then I'm going to do a bit of promoting as well before we answer all the questions. Archer says, I have a feeling Pap Sarr may pop up with more goals this season. Milton's saying that, to be honest, I might be harsh, but I feel Archie Gray and the Tell money was wasted. Look who we've got here. It's another queen that we have in our midst. Nita, good afternoon to you. I hope you're well, Nita. You and the family. Says hi, Jose and Chang. Just sat down, having a cup of tea, been doing the housework. No time to chat. I'm just listening. Come on, you Spurs. Queen Eddie saying that's right. We need a stronger squad as our injury list has affected us. Jose, spot on. Nita's also saying hi to all in the chat. Eddie's come back in with he's useless anyway. That Langer. They should have sent him on a permanent holiday, like sack him. Milton saying the quad is on, boys. I think them beers are getting to you, Milton. Yeah. Then you've got Lord Rodney says we should go in for Paquetá or Mikatadze. Archer's saying the issue is Levy leaves it this late in the window and our team looks solid already. With Savio, we would be even more threatening to our rivals. The Fresher, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. Says Man City now won 80 million euros for Savio, taking the piss, frankly. Dortmund said only bids of 65 and 70 million would be considered for Adeyemi. He is 4 years younger than Lookman, quicker than Savio, and scores more goals. Archer says, but strength in depth is always the issue that Levy has thus far failed to grasp. Milton then comes in with maybe we get Crouchy and Crankier and Defoe get the gang back. And then I've got Angus saying, big up Jose, mate. Espero que estés bien. Sí, todo bien aquí, Angus. I hope you're well as well, sir. Lord Rodney says, Ayub Boadi, Dijawi Cisse, and Lucien Agum for another centre midfielder. And Queen Ellie says, Adeyemi would be a great signing, love him. Another one. And the Fresher says, big up Chang, good to see you. And then Angus says, estoy super gracias, Jose. No worries whatsoever. And Shirley the Tottenham Tilo says, oi Jose, you jammy sod. Why am I jammy? Shirley the tea lady, why am I jammy is what I need to ask you. I can't understand why I'm jammy. The Wiz is here. Good afternoon, Wiz, says big up Jose and Chang. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you're well. And he says, and the chat, hello to the chat as well. I don't know why I'm super jammy. Shirley the tea lady says I am, but I need to understand why. I need to plug for people in here that would like to enter. These are 2 of 3 competitions that we're doing for the free of charge. They're both online. We have Predict the Prem football, and it's here under this code. So if you put this code in, go to this link and enter that code, and you can enter the LTEL Cockerel Predict the Premier Football, which is quite a good game. People do enjoy playing it, enjoyed it last year. It's free of charge, and it sends you out emails every week to remind you that you've got to do your predictions. So it tells you. So not on auto, it tells you. And then the other game we got, it's both in the description and in the chat, is the Fantasy Premier League. You are more than welcome to enter this as well. You just go to that link and you enter that code, and you can enter the LTEL Cockerel League. They're both games online, free of charge. They send you emails out anyway to tell you now got to pick your team. Don't forget to select your side. So it does it all for you. So there are 2 games that are free of charge. And finally, it'd be very remiss of me if I didn't tell people. You can see it down the bottom there. On the bottom is we play predictions here. And the predictions league that we do here, it's interactive with the members. We do it on a Friday or whatever day of the week the games start. But this 3rd week will be on Friday. It's for members only. So get yourself your member badges. It's £1.99, I think, for a member for a month. Get yourself your member badges, and you'll be able to come into the show, and you'll be able to predict along with all the others members that predict. And we do a show on a Friday, and we do a results show the following week. And in that results show, I cover both the interactive games that are online and our predictions league. The results show for this week's predictions, because there's still games to be played today in the Premiership and tomorrow, will be on Tuesday at 4 p.m. But week 3 of the predictions will be on Friday at 4 p.m. But please make sure you're a member if you want to play that on Friday with us. Right, let me see where we were with the chat, because I've now done that. It says currently watching Mikey Paul play for Rangers. He's done nothing. You're basing a game on one. You're basing someone's efforts on one game. Interesting, Angus. Queen Ellie says Adeyemi's 58 goals in 173 matches to date for a winger. That's a great goal return with 28 assists. Did say me love all Spurs fans are jammy to win the game. Fair enough. If not jammy, what else to steal the cheeky 2-0 win from Pep with Levy in charge? Would love us to go for him, Ellie says the fresher. So this is talking about Adeyemi. Okay, don't tell Levy my job's at stake. Ghoster says, leave Mikey Moore alone, Angus. Stop hate watching him because he plays for Spurs and Rangers. You hater, says Ghosted. Good afternoon to you, Ghosted. I hope you are well, sir. What's Milton saying? Just heard right now we've offered Biss and money for Lucas P from West Ham. Is that true? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Shirley, the tea lady's getting involved now as well. Says, well, Angus McDowell, yeah, Jamie a sod of them all for scoring corners and ends against them lads from Leeds. Ghosted is saying, big up Jose and Chang. Right, we've caught up with the chat. Right, so the questions that we're being asked, and I've starred them. Right, first one is from Nate the Ape. Says, have you guys seen much of Akilush? What's your opinion on him as a player? Value he can add to this team, and chances of us signing him?
Honestly, I haven't seen too much of this player. Honestly, as well, I have never actually heard of this player until we were recently linked with him, this French footballer. From what I have read, this 23-year-old who's currently playing in Monaco, I think, Aklioshe, however you pronounce his name. He's an attacking midfielder. He also can play right wing. He predominantly plays only in France, so this is going to be another Kevin Danso, only of the more attacking, mentality, this Frenchman. So until such time, if and when he does prove himself to be a good signing, I would still, urge caution, because we've seen many Roberto Soldados or Kevin Nkudu's, Clinton Ng's, Jetson Fernandez's that have come through the door, and not all of them turned out great. Maybe the last great attacking midfielder whom we got over the line, also on deadline day, that actually made me really excited, was probably Rafael van der Vaart. And that's saying a lot, knowing that the last big attacking midfielder signing we ever got through the door was Rafael van der Vaart, however long ago that was, since we got him from Real Madrid. So if we were to get someone to fill that number 10 role and the long-term future replacement for James Maddison, it's got to be someone who is not only able to walk into our starting 11, but someone who actually understands this league, or at the very least be a name that is to be reckoned with in Europe. And I cannot stress this enough, because as good as James Maddison was for us, coming from an already relegated Leicester, there was only so much that he can do with his injury record. And now that he's done his ACL again, I think he is on his way out. So we need someone who can not only replace him, but is also his long-term replacement. Eze was that player. Now that Eze isn't coming, I think our options are quite limited, because not many top clubs will want to sell at this stage of the transfer window unless they already have a replacement waiting in the wings, which is what Palace was trying to stall for. And the longer we drag this on, I think it's going to only get worse, or rather, the price for whatever player we are eyeing is only going to get higher. If only we had paid the release clause for Eze before that clause expired, we might have just got him over the line, even though we are not his first choice destination, but we could have done the business a lot sooner. All I have to say on this matter is that we have the money from the Morgan Gibbs White transfer that failed. We also have the money from the Eze deal that failed. There's enough money to get whomever we want, assuming the club wants to do business with us, over the line anytime. Why are we still haggling? Why are we still penny pinching? This is penny wise, pound foolish, year after year after year, and I don't think it's ever going to stop as long as Levy and Inning are in charge. All I can hope for right now is that after that Eze debacle, someone up there in the top hierarchy actually starts to see some sense and possibly the light at the end of the tunnel. I would very much welcome a signing before our home league game against Bournemouth next Saturday. So, having said that, let's get our signing over the line as soon as possible, and let's unveil our new signing to the home faithful at home against Bournemouth next Saturday, and let's have a stress and worry-free mini international break after next weekend. Having said that, back to you, Sino Garcia.
So, Nate, in answer to your question, I have not seen anything of Akilush apart from the reels that are now coming out that everyone's got to see about him. Is he a left winger? Is he a 10? I'm not sure. With the signings of Kudus and Paulinho and Danso, all had Premiership experience, because Danso previously played in the Premiership and previously played in England before going out to France. So we what we've asked for and what we want, what I want, is last year we did the young thing. The year before we did the young thing. We've done the young thing. Now we need to go out and buy players that these youngsters can learn off. So for me, I'm looking to get people that have experience of playing in the Premiership, or that have the right mindset to play in the Premiership if they're coming from abroad. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I couldn't give you a frank answer on Akilush, but that's my answer for the time being. Next question we've got is: Hi Jose, would you be happy with El Canus? It's kind of weird because for me, El Canus, watching him play for Leicester last season, yeah, the boy's got some skill, right? But I mean, he's young, right? He's young. There's another one who's young, but he's got some skills in that. But when watching him last season, there's a reason why Leicester went down. So at least Leicester had El Canus, they had Mavididi, they had the other boy that played wide for him as well, and they obviously didn't provide enough because Leicester were relegated, and Leicester weren't relegated harshly. Leicester were well relegated, and so there wasn't all these goals and assists, and they weren't the shining lights. So El Canus is probably, I would say, one for the future. Who would if El Canus came to us? Who's he going to learn from? Who's he going to learn to be a 10 from?
It's got to be Madison. It's got to be Madison, or at the very least, even Kulusevski.
But they're out injured. How can you learn from players that are injured and not on a pitch? Can't get on a pitch, can't kick a ball. How do you learn from players that are injured?
So, to answer your question, I think that is why we should get someone who's already a veteran. Rather than get another youngster to learn off someone else, let's get someone who's already ready to walk into the squad.
Which is exactly what I've just said. I've just said that we've bought players that have got experience, Premiership experience, and older heads. We've done the young thing last year. We did the young thing the year before. And to me, I'm not sure whether going through the young thing again. And it's different when you're looking at players like Harvey Elliott and players like that. They're young, but they have got so much Premiership experience under their belts. But El Canus hasn't got that level of experience, And at the end of the day, like I said, for me, I'm not sure about El Canus. I mean, there are stories. I don't know whether you heard them, Chang. There are stories in there that El Canus was agreed, or a lot of it's been agreed with Crystal Palace, but that Tottenham or that Levy's now sniffing around El Canus just to burn Crystal Palace for what they did to us over Eze, which I think is absolutely silly and idiotic to think that way. Surely you look for a player that's going to better your team rather than trying to get one on another one. But there we go. Question number 3. Is anyone interested in Biss? He did ask us this question a bit earlier, but he's then since said that something he read online said that Biss was being included or there's a make weight for a deal with Paqueta. I don't know how true that is. We've not heard much about Biss. There probably are clubs, right? I'm going to say this, Chang. There probably are clubs that are interested in Bissouma. But Bissouma's not interested in them clubs. So if you had clubs in Turkey that were after him and interested, I don't think he's interested in going to Turkey. Do you see what I mean? So there probably are clubs interested in Biss, but the clubs that are interested in him, he just doesn't want to know, doesn't want to touch. But how long do you stay at a club that don't want you for, Chang? If it's the case that he's been told to find another club at Tottenham, which is what a lot of people are saying, then what do you do as a player? Because he's in his last year of contract.
I mean, honestly, this is the whole Tongi and Ndombele saga all over again. And if it is true that Bissouma doesn't want to move, despite being told that he has no future here, and given his disciplinary record, and it's not only his recent disciplinary record for turning up late for work, it goes back to last season as well, the whole balloons thing before the season got underway. I think this is yet another one of those players that thinks too highly of himself, or probably he has a bit too much going on with his private life that has affected his his professional career. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not his manager, neither am I his family, so I wouldn't know what's going on behind the scenes with him. But something clearly isn't right. He can't say that he's disheartened with the way his career has turned out, because he has just won the Europa League 3 months ago, and he was all very happy and party mode like during the celebration. So there has to be something else going on behind the scenes with his life. I just hope he doesn't become another Dele Alli. If there is one thing that I will say about Bissouma, is that I really do hope he doesn't turn up to be yet another Dele Alli. We've seen how Dele Alli turned up once his Everton days were cut short, and even his latest transfer to Italy under Cesc Fabregas, of all the managers he could have ever hoped to play for, he plays with a gooner as a manager. But I just hope Bissouma doesn't end up like a Dele Alli. He has to figure out for himself what his priorities are right now. And for us as a club, for us as a team, as a squad, our priority is to see that he either bucks up and do what's expected of him, or he just packs his bags and gets a move on. And the sooner we sort him out, whether it's a move away or for him to be part of our European campaign, I think the sooner we sort it out, the better. But I really do wish him all the very best. I wish him for his services and his time in the club. Unfortunately, if that time is up, then he has to be moved on, even if it's on a free, or even if we just cut him loose and get someone else to replace him. Having said that, back to you as always, FA.
I've got one last question to ask, but before I do that, I'm just going to go because we've got loads of people that have answered some of the stuff in the chat. The Fresher says, "Oh dear, there will be a riot in Essex if West Ham sell us Paqueta." Akilush, Rodroni says he's very lightweight, goes over too easy. The Fresher says Akilush is so one-footed, it's unbelievable. Ghosty says Akilush looks good in the highlights I've seen, but the issue with the highlights is I could make Timo Werner look like a world beater in a couple of clips. Lee says, right then, quite busy and just popped in to say hi. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friends. Good. Enjoy your weekend, Lee. Eltel says, smash a like for the stream, subscribe if you're new in these parts, and become a member if you wish to join the predictions and call-ins. You are all appreciated, which you are. Ed M is here. Good afternoon. Ed says, afternoon, Jose Chang in chat. Akilush is a right forward. He's not a 10. Let me just have a look to see who's in the chat. Right. And then you've got Archer says, apparently Johnson said it's nice now to have a coach that values defending. Who else we got it? Yeah, Milton says Garnacho is young but played over 100 games for United. Look, I would look at Garnacho as a left winger. I would look at Garnacho as a left winger. I think Garnacho has that one-on-one take-on element in him. He's young, he's raw still at it, but I think Garnacho's a decent player. Like I keep saying, everything will tell you that he's a wrong un. That's what people at Man United will tell you he's a wrong un. People said that about Rashford, that Rashford was a wrong un. Well, he went on a play for Villa, and if Villa didn't have PSR issues, they would have signed him this season. He's gone to Barcelona. I've been in Spain. They absolutely love him out in Barca. So, at the end of the day, people say he's got issues. People said Jed Spence had issues. Look at Jed Spence at Tottenham now. So, at the end of the day, we don't know the ins and outs. Garnacho, I believe, footballing ability wise, I think it'd be a decent shout as a left winger. Good afternoon, Drew. It says afternoon, Jose Chang and the Cockerel crew. Good afternoon, Drew. Hope you and the family are well. Daniel says, yeah, Chuck Paqueta. So Chuck Basuma and the Paqueta deal. West Ham are desperate for a central midfielder. And Paqueta wants to leave. I watched West Ham get beaten. And Paqueta, when he scored his goal, he was kissing that badge as if he was going to be there forever. Ghosty said after being at City yesterday and hearing no news on Savio, I think it's very unlikely we sign him now. Reports were coming out last night, Ghosted, that the talks and discussions with Man City on Savino went quite well yesterday. Take it as what you will. All these in the knows. What do I know? Right. Last question that we were being asked was, because I know you got to shoot, and I'm just trying to find the last question that I starred. So the last question I starred is that one. Quick question to the panel. If you weren't Spurs, who would you follow and why?
If I weren't Spurs, I probably only follow England, because the only reason why I actually even like or why I even watch football was because of the Sir Bobby Robson World Cup team of Italia 1990. Possibly even the English team of Euro 88. I think that's when the Dutch won it. Yeah, the Dutch won that. The Dutch won Euro 88. So that's when my whole love affair with the England national team started. And when I saw the likes of Paul Gascoigne, Gary Lineker, Gary Mabbott play against Tony Adams and what's his name now, David Seaman in that FA Cup semi-final, I thought it was England A team against England B team. Little did I know that it was Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. So if I weren't following Spurs, I'll probably only be following the English club and have no real sort of affiliations or even sort of a fandom for any other club. Because for me, there is only one club for me ever in the whole wide world, and that's Spurs. And if it's not Spurs, it's no one else. It's quite literally Tottenham till I die or nothing at all. Back to you, FA.
Right, so for me, look who we've got. We've got some champs who just joined us. We have got Tigaro says hello everyone. Paul G says afternoon all, and the Fresher says good luck, lad Chang. Interesting, Chang. Chang would follow England. Ooh, interesting. my shout for this is I support two teams, Milton. I support my team here in England, which is Tottenham Hotspur, and I support my provincial team in Spain. I'm from Galicia. I'm from a village that belongs to a little city of 300,000 people called La Coruña. So my two teams are Tottenham Hotspur and Deportivo La Coruña. So therefore, if I weren't following Spurs, I'd follow Deportivo La Coruña. Once upon a time ago, in our heyday back in 2000, in the early 2000s, we won the Spanish league. We broke the dominance of Barcelona and Real Madrid. We were a team that used to be um, we used to be a team that used to smash teams up in the Champions League. We reached the Champions League semi-final where we famously got done by Monaco in the semi, and they went on to lose to Porto in the final. So yeah, for me, I'm Deportivo de La Coruña. Is who I'd support if I wasn't following Tottenham Hotspur. So I hope that answers the question for you, Milton. And that means we've answered the questions. And then I've got it then says, well, I'm a Bohemians fan, so them. If it was an English club other than Spurs, probably QPR, as I have a hot spot for them. Milton says, I'm from Madeira. Right, Madeira. I've been to Madeira before, Milton. I used to play football for. Um, I used to play football. Who did I play football for? I played football for for a Madeiran club, supporters club here in London, and we would go to Madeira to Funchal. We would go to Madeira. We'd fly to Madeira, and when you fly to Madeira, it's the scariest landing because of the rocks that you have and the runway so small in Madeira. And then we'd stay in Funchal, where the marina is, facing the marina in the mountains is where they put us up, and we would play football against Nacional. Um, we'd play football. I can't even remember the names of that. It was Nacional. We'd play football against them, and we'd play football against Marítimo as well. And there was another club. There was three clubs that we'd play, and we'd play friendlies against them, against their second teams, their B teams, and we were all sponsored by the banks, the Portuguese banks, and I used to love going to Marítimo. That's it, Union. That's it, Union. That's it. That's who they Union, and they play a lot of the teams out there. They play on dust pitches like cinders. So we would play the games on cinder pitches rather than the grass pitches. But I absolutely loved it, and also as well, the food out in Madeira is lovely. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so that's me. Me and my Madeira. I've been to Madeira many a time. I loved it. The yellow taxis in Madeira. It's like it being in New York. They've got yellow taxis, and when you go in the mountains, you're just going round and round and round and round. And you're looking down the cliffs as you go round. The higher up you are in the mountains. Absolutely brilliant times I've had in Madeira. Madeira. Did you play at a good standard then, Jose? I played. I played in the Dan Air League, which is now called something different. I played Surrey County football, so I played against Sutton. Sutton we played against Walton and Hersham. I played against a load of non-league sides that have gone on and gone further up, but Sutton are probably the biggest out of all of them that have got into the national, into our leagues basically. So yeah, I played football for years, and I stopped playing when I was 32, and I took because I'd taken coaching badges when I was younger, and then I coach youngsters because I don't drive, so I coach youngsters, and whilst I had an assistant who could drive, we used to take the kids to play football everywhere, and I coach kids teams. But then obviously I moved from London down to where I am now on the south coast, and then I stopped playing football. I used to put in groups, is there any football or any teams, blah blah blah, and never used to hear nothing. So I used to travel up for vets games and that to London. And then in the end, someone messaged me about 5 years ago, and I'd been here for 13 years already. Someone messaged me about 5 years ago and said there are a team that you can play with. And in the end, I started playing football 3 times a week. But yeah, I played football. I've played football all my life. Represented school, represented districts. Played at Wembley before the Luton when Luton beat Arsenal in the League Cup final. We played the match before that. I represented Westminster, so it was a team from Westminster against a team from Harrow and that, and we won 2-1. So we played the pre-game on Wembley's pitch before Luton beat Arsenal that year. Um, so yeah, I mean I'm 57 now, so the body obviously takes its toll, but I still enjoy going out playing on a Monday, Wednesday, and I do a double session on a Friday. So I play an hour on a Monday, hour on a Wednesday, and I do 2.5 hours football, one game back to back, hour and a quarter each game, back to back on a Friday. So yeah, I enjoy my football. The Fresher says about Madeira, some good marlin fish in there. Tigaro says Brisbane Lions just secured a top 4 in the finals. The Premiership defence is on track. I remember you winning this last year, Tigaro, and you came onto a stream and you were absolutely emotional and enjoying the fact that you were champions and that. And I remember your words. You said, "Core, I so wish Tottenham could do something like this because the feeling that I've got, you can't bottle it." And what did we do? A few months later, Tigaro, Tottenham went and won the Europa League. So you had double celebrations within a 9-month period or so. Fantastic for you. Uh, Kells, good afternoon, Kells. I hope you're well. It's been a while. Hi, Jose. Any Spurs signings this week, do you think? Kells, we're hoping for signings. Not sure whether we're going to get them, but we are hoping for signings. Um, and we're hoping that that Tottenham pull their finger out. But you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Tottenham like a late transfer, and that the window closes tomorrow week, so we'll wait and see what happens, girls. But nice to see you. Milton says Madeira is beautiful, and so is the women. Um, I could have made a career in football, but turn 18 and chase birds instead, says Milton. Art says, I grew up in San Jose. I went to see them occasionally as a teen in the late 90s. Fantastic. Milton says, I played 5-a-side till my late 30s. I played 5-a-side 5 nights a week. Fantastic, Milton. If you're interested in football, just get back to playing. You'll always find people to play with. It's important for mental health and to keep fit, to be as active as possible. And there's nothing like playing football and having the banter with people, like-minded people about football. Whether you support the same team or not, but you're on the same team when you play, you know, and at the end of the day, it's all great. Right, so last call. So we're going to finish up in a second, but I will remind people that the prediction show is on Tuesday at 4 p.m., where I can give you all the updates on week 2. And then week 3, as you can see down the bottom, is a show on Friday at 4 p.m. And if you're a member or you become a member, you can always participate in the predictions that we do interactively with the team. With all the people that we have. So yeah, if you want to become a member, it's pinned in the link's pinned in the chat. Also, I put up and it's in the description. There's 2 other games that we play online. If you want to enter them, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Ghosted is saying Footie Addicts is a good app to find games to play in and around London. Do you still play then, Ghosted? Because that's good. I didn't even know you had this app. But I don't live in London anymore. I wish they had an app like that down here back when I first moved down here. Then I wouldn't have gone without football for 13 years. Tigara says, sorry, Milton, hope for Essendon to beat the Gold Coast. And then Milton says, I work 7 days a week now. Chang. Thank you very much, Chang. Because I know that we normally try to keep this to an hour and a half. We've done slightly longer today, I'm sorry. But because I know that you've got to get on your way. So, Chang, any final words for our people here?
My final words before I call it a day, because it's almost 9 p.m. It's 10 minutes to 9 here in Southeast Asia. I'm looking forward to getting some shut eye, having been here in the office for a good 36 hours now. Uh, as as morale boosting as that win against City at the Etihad was, I think all of us should keep our feet firmly on the ground and not get too carried away by that result. It's just, I know it's just the beginning of the season, and there's a long way more to go. Enjoy the wins while we still have them. Enjoy the clean sheets. Enjoy the 3 points. Enjoy our 6 points from 2 matches. We'll go again next weekend against Bournemouth before a mini international break. Before that happens, of course, I'm really hoping we get a signing or two over the line so that we have someone, at least one player, to unveil before the Bournemouth game. And back Thomas Frank. That's all I can say to Daniel Levy and the board, or to anyone who would even bother listen to this very tired Asian Spurs fan who's probably seen it all and heard it all with Enoch and Daniel Levy, to the point where I think it's pointless now to even hope for better, greener days, because that's all they ever think of, the rub of the green, as far as penny pinching is concerned. But yeah, that's all of us collectively back Thomas Frank and our players. Even if a player is having a bad day or a bad game, like Matthias Tell, or to a certain extent, even a Davinson Sanchez, however bad they are playing, back them, support them. As long as they are putting on this jersey, they are wearing lily white, support them. Even if they are missing penalties in must-win penalty shootouts, we still fully back them. We give them all the love and support and hope that they pick themselves up and brush off that forgettable performance, and maybe become a new Richarlison, become someone reborn. And yeah, as always, Jose, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to always be back on whenever you are free to have me on. And absolutely looking forward to our next installment of Jose and Chang before the mini international break. Hopefully, the next time we do reconvene, Jose, we have another league win to be talking about. I really do hope we make it 3-3 before the minute international break, and hopefully we have another signing or two to be discussing when that signing has been unveiled. Having said that, thank you very much as always. It's Chang over and out from Southeast Asia, and come on, you Spurs! Thank you, Jose.
Fantastic, Jang. Tigaro has gifted out 5 channel memberships. That's very kind of you, Tigaro. But one of them's gone to Chris, who's already come in and thanked whoever gifted it to him. And that's why I've put Tigaro up there, so Chris can see that it was Tigaro that gifted them. And these have gone to the lucky recipients from Tigaro's generosity were Chris, Dan Payton, Renee, Connor Lynch, and Kiwi Spurs TV. So if any of you have been gifted, then it is Tigaro that you need to thank for the gifting. Tigaro, thank you very much for your generosity. Ghosted says, I was playing, but I'd done my ACL a couple of years back, so not much these days. I'm really sorry to hear that, Ghosted. I had an arthroscopy and a minisectomy done on my knee a while ago, but it was all keyhole surgery, and it took me ages to rebuild my knee after having that. And I've played on with it. Although your knees rub when you have an arthroscopy and a minisectomy, because you're missing cartilage and that, your knees end up rubbing and the tissue that you miss. But I still play football. Probably later on in life, I might have a lot of problems walking, but I have to wait for that for later on in life. At the moment, whilst I can still play, then I will do so. Richie's reborn, says Ellie, and Jessica. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening to you, Jessica. I want 4. Is 2 out? I want 4 in and 2 out this coming week, is what Jessica's saying. Right, interesting. We all want action. We all want movement. Next week we'll be back for our show as usual. Is it going to be? Is it 12 o'clock still next week, Chang?
It should be 12, but it might be slightly earlier. It depends on when my daughter's birthday party, the
Yeah.
dinner birthday party, is scheduled to be held next Sunday. Next Sunday is also a national holiday here in Malaysia. It's going to be our Independence Day. 31st of
Okay.
August is the Independence Day here in Malaysia.
Yeah.
It's going to be a public holiday. I will get back to you on the the timing for our show. But as it stands, it's status quo on our show time. Let's just stick to 12 noon for now, unless something does change. Thank you again, FA.
No worries. You let me know during the week, Chang, so I can prepare the show. But we will
Okay,
be
sure,
back
for
next
sure.
week. We will be
For
back
sure.
next week for Jose and Chang talk Tottenham. Just as we're going, look, you've got Corey Boy has come in and said good day. Good day to you, Corey Boy. Good afternoon to you. Hope you and the boy, you and your son, your son, are doing really well. Wayne Bonner has just come in. Look, Zach says good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Very impressed yesterday. Solid win and a solid performance. We've covered this all, Wayne, but yeah, it was. Wayne, I've missed you, mate, in the predictions because you're a member. Predictions, mate, on Friday at 4 o'clock. And if you missed the show, just put them in after the show. I'm late to the building. He says, I've been building Lego with the boy. Listen, precious times, Corey, mate. Precious times spent with your son. Absolutely brilliant. Building Lego, whatever it is you choose to do, it's absolutely brilliant time. Create memories, my man. Create memories. Can I ask, right, as we're finishing the show, if I can get 6 more people to like this stream, then we have hit 50 for today. Oh, sorry. No, I tell a lie. We need 3 more. We're currently on 47. 3 more, and we would have hit 50, which is not bad for a Sunday. And then you've got Archers coming in with my ACL injuries ruin so many careers at any level. Maybe there should be more research in how to reduce that. It's absolutely correct, Archer. But women are finding more. Women seem to be getting more ACLs than men. And people are saying it's the makeup of women's bodies that creates the ACL injuries at a far greater rate than men. But at the end of the day, ACL injuries for elite sportsmen and sports people happens in all sports. If I listen to, and I do, to my Australian counterparts from the Australian rules football that they play, the amount of ACLs that they get in Australia as well, it's just absolutely mental in their game. So everyone gets them. 6? Is that 6?
51
Oh,
likes now on the stream.
You were going like that. I thought you were saying 6.
Usually, if
Wayne
I do
Bonner,
6, it's like this. This is my
okay,
6.
okay.
This is my 6. This is 51.
I'm sorry, Chang. I need to learn. Wayne Bonner says, I forgot, got busy. I'll be in next week's predictions. Wayne Bonner says, anyone seen Madison's YouTube channel? No, I haven't, but I will go and have a look, Wayne, because I'd be interested. And Corey Boy says, an ACL ruined his life as well. Look, I wish everybody a clean bill of health. I always do, because real life is real life, and as I always do, I end the show with telling everybody to go and enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Do what you want to do and what you like to do with those that you love and hold dearly, whether it be friends and family. And I wish you all the very best. We look forward to, so my next show, sorry, is the predictions results on Tuesday. I will do another midweek show, and then I will do the show with Chang. I'm going to the match next Saturday. Do the show with Chang on Sunday, and the weekend after that, it's International Week. So on the Saturday, I'm planning and preparing to do a call-in members show, so people can call in and have their say over what they think of Tottenham, because by then we would have played 3 games, and we would also have had the end of the transfer window. So, like with everything, I'm going to let Chang say it once more, the last words before I say my last words. And that is,
Come on, you Spurs! Thank you everyone for watching. Up the Spurs. I hope to see each and every single one of you next Sunday. Until then, enjoy your weekend and keep your fingers crossed for any more incomings as well as outgoings in the next week or so before the close of the transfer window. What can I say, Jose? 2 wins out of 2 in the league. We are flying high with 5 goals scored and 2 consecutive clean sheets. That's a rarity in this day and age. And I'm so very, very glad that Christian Romero is our new club captain. Hopefully, he would be for a good long time to come now that he's already signed his contract extension, if I'm not mistaken. I did see a photo of him and Thomas Frank, so I'm guessing that was the contract extension photo between him and Thomas Frank. Thank you again, everyone, and come on, you Spurs.
And Tigar is just confirming that 3 players on average in each AFL list is out for the next 12 months with ACLs every year. Like I said, when I speak to my Australian counterparts, they tell me that ACLs are massive in their sport. Right, for me, as per always, is go and enjoy yourselves. Have a great remainder to your weekend. Do what it is that you need to do. Let's hope for some more good news this week from Tottenham. And as always, it's come on, you Spurs. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Tell, Cockerell, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerell, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The predictions league done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. Jose gets himself around, always talking Spurs wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell, Cockerell, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. The predictions league done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. Tell, Cockerell, the show is so chilled. Your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerell. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell, the show is so chill. Your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where